after that super dramatic intro. Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome one and all to another live stream. I am overjoyed to have in the studio someone who, like me, shares a passion for personal branding. And I would say her current strapline is to find brand you. And today we are going to be talking about, as an extension of the phrase, nobody buys an umbrella. What exactly do we mean by this, Sally? And welcome, by the way.
Thank you very much. And it's lovely of you to have you on here, or have me on here. So one of the first things I want to say is 30 seconds is ever such a long time.
It feels like a long time. I promise you, it's less time than you think. But it pops up with little messages everywhere on people's things saying Gareth is about to start talking to someone. So, you know, it is what it is. But here we are. We can make it shorter next time. 15
okay,
seconds.
that'd be good. Yeah, 15 for me, I feel. Yeah, not 30.
All right. So nobody buys an umbrella. This is in reference to the fact that the purpose of buying an umbrella isn't buying the umbrella.
Absolutely.
The purpose of buying the umbrella is to prevent the water hitting you, as keeping dry. Right.
Got it.
So
well,
one should always keep in mind what the purpose is, rather than, you know, what its exterior rendition is. It's what is that for?
Well, I always say to people, I sell personal brand, but that isn't what they buy, because people know personal brand as a sentence, but they don't really understand what it is. And so they come to me because they need clarity, because they're feeling confused and they have no idea of everything is just overwhelming. They come to me because they've lost their confidence, because they perhaps came out of corporate, fantastic at the job they did. But when you work on your own, there's too much else to do and you very quickly lose your confidence. And then they come to me because they don't know. They come for content. They don't know what to put in the social media. They don't know what blogs to write. They don't know what newsletters to do, because they haven't got the content that's not just, you need to do this for this. You need, for a personal brand, content about you. But, you know, you don't want to feel like a celebrity when you're going out there. You want to feel like somebody who's adding value, not trying to, you know, be center stage.
But the truth of the matter is, many people know what it is that plagues them. They know their ills, and at dinner parties they'll regale you in great and graphic detail what those ills are. However, they very rarely know what the solution is to getting rid of those ills.
Yeah,
and often don't know how to enunciate that solution.
Absolutely. And also, you know, if you talk about your ills at a dinner party, you might have 6 different people there who will give you their different opinions on what you need to do. And personal brand is all about coming from the inside. You know, it's not me telling you what to do. It's me telling you how to find out who you are, and then how to be able to explain that, show it so that you can be visible, and then you can attract your clients. But until you become visible because you're saying the right things about yourself, it doesn't happen.
Now, I'm forever plagued with people saying, tell me your why, what's your why? But I noticed when earlier, when we were talking about the pillars, if you will, of and the process that you go through, and I mentioned to you at the time, your why is way down the bottom of the list, way past philosophy, strengths, values, mindset, etc., etc. It kind of drags in at back, you know, tail end Charlie.
Yeah, absolutely. But not because it is right at the end, because it is incredibly important. The trouble is, finding out what your why is not easy. And you have to go through other things until it becomes blatantly obvious. I mean, most people will say, well, why do I do this? Because I need money, because I've got to live, or because I want to show my child that I could do it. You know, those are things that people come up with as a why. But your why is really buried deep inside you. It's all about just what gets you out of bed in the morning and what makes you get over the bad times, because we all have bad times and it's very easy to go, well, I'm just not going to do that anymore because it's all gone wrong. Got to find your why. But it's a process getting there.
So rather than running it, trying to find your why, you're saying do the other work first, and the why will kind of poke its head up anyway.
Yes.
Talk to me a bit more about philosophy.
Okay. Well, philosophy is the first one of my PHs. Okay, so philosophy is all about your head and your mind and your brain, all of which are three different things, but it's that encompassed. So, you know, who are you? What makes you tick? What makes you stop ticking? You know, what are your mind blocks? How do your thought processes work? How does your brain work? I mean, both of you and I have a diverse brain that works in different ways than other people's works. And so it's discovering those things because it's who we are. You know, there's no point in hiding it or pretending it's not or pretending it to be there. We just need to find out what makes you tick and then how you can explain what makes you tick that makes other people who are going to be in your tribe go, ah, she's going to get me. He's going to get me. I like her. I trust him, whatever.
So these are the elements within your own personal philosophy that you're kind of looking for a match with, hence your tribe, as you mentioned.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, not everybody likes everybody, and we're not meant to. You're not meant to work with everybody. The key is finding a way to find the people who do want to work with you. And most importantly, or as importantly, you want to work with them.
Yeah, that's everything, isn't it? Now, you do mention, now, so far we've been talking about all the ethereal stuff, all the stuff that floats around your noggin. But there's also, and you use this word, physicality to it. Now, what do you mean by that?
Well, physicality is exactly what it says on the tin. It's the physical you. I mean, you have to remember that I have spent years in my previous life as a cancer nurse specialist. So I was very into health and the body. That's physically you. And then for 12 years, I was a stylist. So I was very into colour and shape and style. So in some ways, in the physicality, I've amalgamated those to look at them because they're part of your personal brand. The colours that you wear and look good on you have to be used in your business, because if you were sitting there with a purple hat on and purple behind you, and purple was not a colour that would emphasize your best features, then you're losing already, aren't you? So you have to define what your colors are to be able to use them in your business and to understand what they mean for you and what they subconsciously mean to other people as well, because you're sending a message when you use colors. But I find it so often when I've gone networking, somebody will hand me a business card and say, oh, here's my business card. And the colours they've got on there are not representative of that person standing in front of me. And they should be.
I either find they're either way too dark and dingy, or they're way too bright and cheery. They're often the two extremes away from where that person is actually sitting. So does this, and you've used these words to me before, but I'm really looking for you to break this down to me. The colour story. Okay,
so the colour story, exactly as I said, it's the colours that suit you. So here is my background. Now, this is actually my story. So the blue over this side, or we're back to front because we're the blue over this side is my nursing. So it's very empathetic, it's caring, it's a uniform, all those sort of things that are blue. And then as you come across here, you get lots of oranges and reds and different colours. And at the bottom, there's some yellows, because I love talking. I love talking to people in individuals, but I love standing up on stage. So I can talk. But also I'm quite orange, which means I can be very creative. I can also be a bit impulsive, and I can jump into things. So this colours and this sequins, because of my styling, is my story. And that's what you need to do with your colours. Understand what they mean to you and how they're going to come over and be seen. Because we all know that blue can be a bit boring, but it can be very caring. The police wear blue, nurses wear blue. You know, anything you want to feel safe with wears blue.
Blue is the colour of trust.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, I suppose almost by mistake, looking at myself, I'm very steampunk. I come from that. That's very much my ethos. So honesty, trust, authenticity, and doing what you say on the tin.
Yeah, creativity is definitely what your purple and orange is. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's great.
well, look, there's a bit of a match there, Sally.
There is.
Slightly less sequins.
Yeah, well. So your colours is just part of your physicality, and there's lots more to it as well. But your colours is one of them.
But there's also now. Forgive me, shape and balance.
Shape and balance. So when you are having your styling done, we always look at your body shape. And now let's take somebody who is a typical hourglass, which means they have a tiny little waist and they come out the shoulders. This is female and come out the hips, but the same things go for men. But hourglass people look great and quite often want to wear sort of 1950s with a belt and kicky out skirt, that sort of thing. If that's who you are, because that's the clothes you love wearing, or you love wearing classic clothes, or you love wearing, I don't know, really biker clothes, then that part of you needs to come a little bit into your business. Now, it may just have a little note to it in your website, so that if you are, you know, love leather, tight clothing, bikes, rips, that sort of thing, it comes out slightly in your website. If you're a 1950s girl who loves that sort of thing, comes out in your website. If you're into jazz, so that you can put all these things about your personality into your website, so that when somebody visits your website, they're understanding you, not just a beautiful thing that's been designed by a brilliant designer, but it's not you.
Now, I'm going to say this word because it's a brand new word to me, and then you're going to disseminate it. Here we go. The phenomenology.
Yeah. And it's a science because it's an ology. Only people of a certain age will remember that.
We'll have an ology.
You've got to have an ology. It's really important. So, okay, so we've had philosophy, physicality, and now we've got phenomenology.
It's the third of your fuzz.
My PHs.
Yeah.
So phenomenology starts off as the word phenomenal. So what is phenomenal? And in this area, we talk about your business as it is, what it does, what it makes people feel, how it helps them, you know, mission statements, the name, all that sort of thing. So the phenomenology part of is what you put into that. So into your business needs to go all your philosophy, all your physicality, and then all the wonderful, unique things about your business that you put into your business. And then all that put together is the umbrella. Hence, you don't buy an umbrella. Yeah, is the umbrella of your brand. And that means that you can have one or two businesses, and that doesn't matter because people say, oh, I network this one and I network that one, and I've got a different business card and different colors. No, because when you have that personal brand, it explains that you're a business coach, but at the weekends you help people skydive. You know, it puts them together because of who you are, not because of what the businesses are.
So it makes you the center of it all.
It makes you the center of it all. Hence, personal brand.
Now, the last thing before, I love the last line you sent me, which was making your cake. We'll get there in a second.
Okay.
Brand promise.
Brand promise. I will. Or I am. It's a bit like taglines. Okay, so do you know what the tagline for Harley Davidson is?
Vroom, vroom, vroom. Go on.
We are Harley Davidson.
Oh,
that's you need to say. Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And Nike. Nike used to be. It used to be Go, but anyway, they changed it just into a tick.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's that little tagline.
Wasn't it just do it?
Yeah, just do it. That's it. Well done. Very good. Top marks. So Sally Inkster, find brand you is the tagline.
All right.
Good.
Okay. Mine is to make them sit up and take notice.
Yeah. And also it stops the whole, you know, people have to be able to say, this is who I am, name, and what I do in the shortest possible. So I'm Sally Inkster with everything that comes with me. So all these colours, blah, blah, blah. I'm in pink. That's just because I've declared summer and nobody else has. And fine, brand you.
And finally, making your cake. What does that mean?
What does it mean? Okay. So imagine you're in a kitchen. Okay. And behind you, you've got all your cupboards, all your store cupboards. And you say to yourself, okay, well, I'm going to make a chocolate cake. So you open your store cupboard up and there's 60 things in that store cupboard. Now, that's you as a person, 60 things, that's you. You're not going to need all of them to make the chocolate cake.
No.
You're going to need the flour and you're going to need the sugar and you're going to need the chocolate and you're going to need some butter and probably some icing. And then, so you take the things out of your cupboards, out of you, that you need to put in that cake for that particular time. You make the best cake. Then you can decorate it with other things that you've got in your cupboard. So you may have some edible flowers, you may have some sprinkles, whatever. You're going to make it look beautiful because that's what we want to do with a brand. We want it to look beautiful. But the proof of a good cake is, number one, when you look at it, it makes you salivate. And number two, when you cut it open, it just looks perfect. And then when you eat it, it satisfies what you need to satisfy.
Would you say this is about being the brand?
Yes.
So look, guys.
But you can make lots of cakes. You don't just have to make a chocolate cake. You can make
other, as I say in BBC, other cakes are applicable. Sally, thank you very much. It's been an education in this short period of time. Guys, we are going to be doing a series of podcasts similar to this one, where we're going to delve a little bit more deeply and we're going to find out what it is to be brand you. But until the next time, thank you so much, Sally. And guys, if you're watching this and you come across either myself or Sally and you just jump in there and say, I like that, I didn't like that, I'd like to see more of this and less of that, because we need the feedback to know which way we're going. But until the next time, thank you for your time and your attendance. Have a marvelous week, what's left of it. And of course, excellent mental health.